Hi, everyone. Tim Moore here again. Today, I wanted to share something. I've been actually doing research, talking to agents that gave up, that have left the industry, newer agents that never even got started, veterans that have quit. And I thought I'd share today because hopefully, if you're watching this, it's because you're in the industry, you're having a level of success, you're doing the work. But I do think it's interesting why the agents said they failed because there was very much a common thread. So not going to take a lot of time today, but I thought I'd kind of share what I found out. Essentially, let me start with, I'm not surprised by the answer, but I interviewed 100 former agents for this post. What I did basically was I looked for agents that had not renewed their license over the last couple of years. And I reached out to them and I said, listen, I'm working on an ebook. I'm writing a book on why people that get in real estate fail. And I'd really love to ask you a few questions. Obviously, a lot of people were not interested, not everybody responded, but I did have the chance to get 100 interviews in. All of these were newer agents. They were licensed mostly in 2021 and 2022 and did not renew their license. I actually did talk to a couple veterans, but they were licensed in Ohio in 2021. They moved here from other cities. And I eliminated ones who just said they decided to do something else, that didn't even try. They just said, I got a job offer or I did this or this. So I took their responses out because what I really wanted was 100 people that wanted to make it as a realtor, wanted to be in real estate. So let's look at the reasons that they gave. And this is in reverse order. So here's number 10 through number 6. First, a lot of them actually said, I couldn't even get my friends to use me. That was a very common response. I could not even get my friends to use me. I think a lot of us assume our friends and family will use us, and we forget that they know 5, 10, 15 realtors each. And we forget that not necessarily do friends and family want to do, they don't necessarily want to tell you their personal business. They may not even trust you, but that was a common response. The number 9 reason was, I don't want to call FISBOs. There were a lot of agents who were like, I didn't realize you just had to get on the phone and cold call people. I don't want to do that. That was a common response. Number 8 was, there was just too much weekend work. I was actually surprised by how common that was. I'm not quite sure why anyone ever thought being a realtor meant working Monday through Friday. So much of what we do happens on the weekend and in the evenings. But that was a common response out of the 100. Here was a really honest one. I did not put in enough effort. I love that response because at least it was agents taking accountability for their own actions and their own reason why they failed. But a number of the top 100, the 100 that I asked, a number of them had in their top reasons that they did not put in enough effort. A lot of the time that was combined with, I didn't realize how hard this job could be or how hard this industry was going to be. I thought it would be easier. And the number 6 reason, there was no training. Now, I would like to just put that on the brokers. I'd like to put that on the coaches at the brokerages. But I know from firsthand experience, an awful lot of new agents, you can invite them, you can offer classes, you can offer training, and they don't engage. They don't come to them. But that was a big reason. There was no training. All right, let's go to numbers 5 through 2. Number 5 was, my family was not supportive. I think this is actually a bigger problem in our industry than a lot of people want to talk about. But if your spouse is not supportive of you, this is a tough business. If your spouse complains because you're not home at dinner time or you have to go out on the weekend, that's kind of challenging. And financially, if your spouse is not supportive, that can be a problem as well. So that was not an answer that surprised me at all. What did surprise me was, you would think they would have talked that out before they got licensed, before they put the money into getting a real estate license. They would have had those conversations. Number 4, I don't want to work nights and weekends. This one came up in a couple different ways, is why I listed it twice. A lot of people were, I don't want to work weekends. And then a lot of others brought up nights and weekends. There were a number that were like, well, it was interfering with my church. I couldn't work Sundays because of church, or I couldn't work evenings because I had to take care of the kids. I've never seen it written anywhere that real estate is a 9 to 5 job. but it seemed like an awful lot of these people thought it was going to be. Number three, the broker did not give me any leads. That was pretty eye-opening, and that all these people thought that joining a company, whether it be a Coldwell Bank or a Keller Williams or an eMerge or whoever it was, that they were just going to get fed business and they just had to go write contracts and get paid. I don't know where that impression came from, but a lot of these people thought that was how it was going to be. The number two reason, I did not have time to be a realtor with my job. That one I actually expected to be the number one reason people failed, because so many new agents get in trying to do real estate part-time and find it's a real struggle. So I actually thought that was going to be the number one reason when I started interviewing these agents, but it was number two. So what was number one? What was the number one reason that these agents said I failed? And I can tell you the number one reason, 89 out of the 100 had that as one of the reasons they failed. So it was almost unanimous. The number one answer was no one told me what to do. That's frightening at so many levels, but I think all of us would agree. Brokers do a lot of great training on how to fill in contracts, how to fill out MLS paperwork. They do an awful lot of training about how to do paperwork and not get the broker sued. But the training on how to actually go out and get business, how to go out and talk to people, how to go out and do an open house, that training definitely lacks in our industry in a lot of ways. But no one told me what to do it's a scary answer. I think it said a lot about the 100 people I interviewed, because I would have liked to have asked and I didn't. But, well, did you go ask someone what you should do? Did you go to all the training? Did you go talk to some of the veteran agents? Their number one reason they failed was no one told me what to do. So here's what I see. I see 100 people that essentially said, I failed and I want to blame everyone else. I see 100 people who their expectations were not realistic. They just thought, oh, I'd come to a broker, get fed leads, not have to work nights and weekends and make a lot of money. I see them saying it was the broker's fault. And there's times I'd be challenged not to say that the broker is partly at fault for not setting the right expectations, maybe not having the right training or tools. But at the end of the day, the broker can't do it for these people. And then the big one, no one helped me. Well, guys, we own a business. We get that. We're self-employed. There's a lot of help out there, but you have to go get it. And what I saw in these 100 people was very much no accountability, very little effort, and blaming everyone instead of doing the work it would take to be successful. So the key takeaway for me and what I wanted to share today was Agent X failed. Then they took really no accountability for their failing. They blamed everyone else. So, for those of us that are in the industry, making money, working away, doing the right things every day, don't let yourself fall into the trap of being Agent X. We know all 10 of those reasons for failure were excuses. And we know at the end of the day, they just didn't do the work. They didn't put the effort in. They just did not do what they needed to do. Right now, we're in a tough market. So if any of you are struggling, if any of you are not hitting your goals, if any of you are worried about the business, worried about rates, look for solutions and don't make excuses. That's the takeaway. 100 out of 100 people that failed had excuses for why they failed. Not one of them stood up and said, I failed because I didn't do the work. Some of them did say, I didn't put the effort in, I probably should have, but no one said I failed because I didn't do the work. Not one. So if you're struggling, look for solutions. Don't look for excuses. Let's face facts. The tools are out there. No one told me what to do. You know what? Training's abundant. Every brokerage has classes. Every title company is doing classes. Go online. There is free training, free videos from so many places. Coaching's readily available. And coaching can be a big expense, but it can also be a very small expense, depending on your brokerage and what's offered. Keller Williams, for instance, where I am, you can have a coach that helps you every day, and you only pay them when you have a closing. So you're not having to write checks up front. Most brokerages have some kind of coaching program like that. You know what? The market's tough, but buyers and sellers are out there. We're closing houses every day. The ways to market yourself abound, and they don't cost money. Social media is free. Open houses are almost free. You just need some gas to get to them. There's a lot of ways to market yourself. So the tools are all there. The biggest tool in the toolbox, though, is your effort there. And in this market, it's very easy to get beat down. I just had a good friend of mine, agent on the team, had 2 deals die the morning of closing. That's tough to take, but you can't get down. You've got to just get back up, go get another client. So is your effort there is a big question. So let's end this. Let's land the plane. You can succeed. And most of the people that are watching this are succeeding. You may not be hitting your goals, you may not be exceeding your goals, but you are selling houses, you are doing the work. And in the tough market, bravo, good for you. I'm telling you right now, just don't be like the agents that have failed. Don't be like the 100 people I interviewed. Keep working, keep hustling, put the work in, do the right things, take control of your business, and you know what? You're going to be successful. And you're going to be in the business 5 years from now, 10 years from now. We're going to co-op together. You're going to co-op with my team. Take control, do the work, and be successful. Don't let yourself get down. Be Bobby McFerrin, if you remember the silly song, Don't Worry, Be Happy. Don't get down. Don't let this market beat you up. Just keep doing what you know you need to do, and you will be successful. I hope this is interesting. I hope the feedback from 100 agents that gave up had some meaning for you. For me, I woke up, I looked at it, and I went, Tim, don't let yourself get sucked into this trap. Make sure you're not doing the things or making the excuses they are. Tim, if you need training, go get the training. If you need coaching, get it. If you need to market more, go do it. Take control, do the work, be successful. You can all do it. We're all going to be fine. The market's going to get better. It's going to change. Rates are going to come down. Hang in there, keep working, and I'll see you next year, the year after that. Everybody have a great day and look for the next video. Bye.